Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I am very excited about today because it is my 1 month anniversary of YouTube. I can't believe a month has gone by already, and I can't believe that I have so many amazing subscribers and I've met so many new friends in such a short period of time. So if you are new here or you are one of my original subscribers, I'm very grateful and thankful for all of your support and all of your love. Oh, hi, Levi. So a little quick Dan update. Dan actually stayed home from work today. He's feeling a little bit better, but is still having some stomach discomfort. He thankfully had a vacation day that he was able to use, so he's here, but he's kind of indisposed and doing like couch sleep off and on. What I am planning to do for you guys today, since it is my 1 month anniversary of YouTube, I am going to do a full day of eating video, but it's going to be some of my favorite things. So I'm going to do a version of bulletproof coffee that's one of my favorites. I'm going to get dinner in the Crock-Pot. I'm probably gonna bake something. I'm feeling pretty adventurous today, and I wanna show you guys what I kind of treat myself with when I am feeling celebratory. So I hope everyone's having an amazing day. I can't tell you how much it means to us that you guys were so forthcoming with all of the prayers and the well wishes for Dan, and it just really means a lot to us. So we have read every single comment. If I haven't replied to you specifically, I probably still will take time to do that. I just want you guys to know how much it really does mean to us. So let's get started, and I will kind of show you how I make I don't want to call it a pumpkin spice latte because it's not a latte. There's no steamed milk, but basically I'm going to be doing a bulletproof coffee that is pumpkin themed because pumpkin is about to launch into all of the Dunkins and all of the Starbucks, and for me, pumpkin flavored everything is a huge trigger. I absolutely love pumpkin. I love fall. I started my keto journey in July of 2017, so it was right before pumpkin season started, so that was last fall, and I managed to not have a single pumpkin treat that I would normally eat from like a Dunkin' or Starbucks or drink. I drank more pumpkin swirl coffees than I could ever tell you in my former way of eating. I basically feel like my blood was probably made out of pumpkin spice syrup. So I have come up with a way to kind of get my pumpkin fix without getting all of the extra sugar, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to truck through this pumpkin season without binging. I hope you are too. It's hard. We'll do it together. We're just going to come up with pumpkin alternatives. So let's check out my coffee, and then I'll show you what I'm going to throw in the Crock-Pot for dinner. Okay, here's what you're gonna need. You will need the same components to your regular bulletproof coffee, which is coconut oil and the Kerrygold unsalted butter. I'm also going to add a splash of heavy whipping cream, some of the Torani sugar-free caramel syrup, and then also some pumpkin pie spice. Okay, so into your blender or whatever your preferred stirring method is, I'm gonna use my Ninja blender and my little bullet cup here. You're gonna do 1 piping hot cup of coffee. The stronger the better, I think, when it comes to bulletproof coffee. Then we're gonna add the pumpkin pie spice, this guy right here. I am going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. If I can get my measuring cup life together. So 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Then I am going to add a teaspoon of heavy whipping cream. Regular heavy whipping cream, just a teaspoon, nothing crazy. Then I am going to also add a teaspoon of the Torani Classic Caramel sugar-free coffee syrup. They have a pumpkin one too, but I think it has a weird aftertaste, so I don't really like it. Then we are going to add a teaspoon of coconut oil. And then I am also going to add about a teaspoon of Kerrygold butter. Oh, it smells so good. I can't wait to drink this. I'm dying for pumpkin. So everybody into the cup. Should look something like this, nice and disgusting until you blend it up. So I'm gonna blend it up and I'll show you what it looks like. It looks delicious. Yum. Here we go. It smells like fall. Okay, this is gonna be my breakfast because it definitely has a pretty high calorie count because it has the coconut oil, the butter, and the little bit of heavy whipping cream. But you guys know I'm not much of a breakfast eater anyway, so bulletproof coffee is the perfect way for me to have a little bit of something if I'm feeling like peckish but don't want to actually eat anything. OMG. Oh man. It is so good. It is so good. I have seen the Torani sugar-free syrups at World Market. I've seen them even at like Marshall's, Bell's Outlet. So look around for those. They might even have that flavor at your Publix or your Walmart. I'm actually pretty sure that I got that one at Walmart. So the pumpkin pie spice and the classic caramel syrup are going to be the things that you need to really make the pumpkin flavor happen. It is so unbelievably good. I'm willing to bet that I'm going to drink this basically for the next 3 months straight. So give it a try. This is going to be my fuel to kind of get me through the first half of my morning. I've got a lot of cleaning to do because whenever anyone is sick in my house, I turn into like a psycho, like a psychopath. Gloves, Lysol wipes, bleach. Like I'm a crazy person. I'm not a good sick person. When I get sick, I'm not really good at resting and I have a tendency to kind of push myself and make myself worse. So the name of the game here is going to be no one catch what Dan has. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in the crock pot. It's going to be in there. What time is it? It's like 10 o'clock. I am putting a chuck roast in the crock pot and it will basically live in there until probably around 8 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be magical. You have to make this. You have to make this and leave me all the comments about how much you love it and how happy you are. Hey, check out the junk in the back there. Yep, that's right. Junk on every surface. Real life. Okay, so this is the easiest crock pot dinner in the entire world, but it's one of our most favorite things. I hope that Dan's gonna be up to eating a little bit later, but even if he isn't, this keeps really well as leftovers for quite a few days. So I'm doing a chuck roast in the crock pot. I think a lot of people call this recipe a Mississippi mud roast and usually add an extra ingredient that I'm not going to be adding. Mine is really basic and this is just how we like it. So here's what you're gonna need. You will need a good sized chuck roast. You will also need a crock pot, 1 packet of dry ranch seasoning, a stick of butter, an entire jar of banana peppers, salt and pepper. Go ahead and throw your crock pot on low. Okay, so you are going to take a little bit of the banana peppers and the juice and put that on the bottom. Then if I can ever get the package of the chuck roast open, you're gonna put that in next. Whoop. Here we go, it's happening. It's happening slowly, but it's happening. Okay, then throw in your chuck roast. Next, you're gonna add salt and pepper to both sides. I do a good amount of pepper, but just a little bit of salt because there's already a lot of salt in the banana peppers that you're gonna put in with it. So salt and pepper on both sides. We really like pepper. You don't have to use this much if you're not a fan. And salt. Next, we're gonna open up our packet of dry ranch seasoning. That goes right in. I love easy crock pot recipes where you just dump everything inside. Then we are going to throw in an entire stick of butter. Don't judge me, that's a lot of meat. And then an entire jar, juice and all, of banana peppers. So this is gonna cook on low for at least 8 hours, but probably more like 9 or 10. Then we're gonna throw the lid on and we will check it out later. Easy. Okay, so sometimes when people make this recipe, they add a packet of, I think the au jus or like a brown gravy powder mix. We don't like it that way. We keep it really simple and just do the ranch seasoning packet and it's absolutely delicious. So this is like a twist on the Mississippi mud roast. I really like it this way. Dan really likes it this way. It hasn't failed us yet, so we never add the brown gravy packet. Packet. I need to finish my coffee. Oh, the pepper got me. Okay, I think I'm okay. So that's gonna sit all day. I am probably gonna bake something here in a little while as well. I've taken a week off from keto baked goods because I just felt like I was maybe overdoing it a little bit in the calorie department. So I'm definitely gonna bake something today because I'm just super in the mood, and we'll see how the day pans out. Okay, I already showed you guys how I make these mini egg loaves, so I'm just throwing this in here because it's part of my meal prep today. So we are obsessed with these. I made a bit of a larger batch so that way I was able to get 12 out of them, but I will eat these for the rest of the week. They heat up awesome. Just another tidbit of my day. Okay, lunch is lame, but I'm gonna show you anyway. I get this turkey from Aldi, and it's only 1 carb for 6 slices. So I do the turkey slices, then I'm gonna add a little bit of horseradish mayo that I made, and I will also throw a string cheese in each one, and pickle. These are my dollar store pickles. They're actually awesome. I also went ahead and added a piece of salami because I forgot that we had it. So I'm gonna roll these up, and this will be an easy 2-minute lunch. Hey guys, late afternoon routine here for us. The kids are currently eating dinner, and then I'm gonna put them in the bath. So while they're eating dinner, I'm going to whip up some lemon mini muffins. Yep, you guys asked for it. I've made lemon donuts before, but I've never made lemon mini muffins. So I'm basically gonna take the same approach that I do for the lemon donuts and make mini muffins out of them. Whenever I have a bad day or a bad couple of days, I crave sweets. So to say that I am craving a treat today is an understatement. So I'm really excited to make these and show you guys how it's done. It's pretty easy. It's really similar to all my other muffin and donut recipes where you just kind of mix things in 2 separate bowls and then combine them. But I will go ahead and show you how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so you need 1 cup of almond flour, 1/3 cup of sweetener. I'm gonna use Swerve, 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract, 1/4 cup of melted butter, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 2 large eggs, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, the juice from 1/2 lemon, and the zest of a full lemon. Now would also be a good time to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and grease your mini muffin pan. Okay, first we're going to mix up the dry ingredients. I like to use a whisk for every stirring step of this recipe. I feel like it makes a difference in the texture. So, 1 cup of almond flour, 1/3 cup of sweetener, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then the zest of 1 lemon. We're gonna mix that together until it's fully incorporated, and then we're gonna do the wet ingredients in a separate bowl before we combine them together. Okay, in the separate bowl, you're gonna want 2 eggs. Say hi, Dan.
Howdy ho, neighbors.
Dan's feeling better, guys. Thank you for all of your prayers.
Peace.
He's up and walking around after sleeping for like 10 hours today, but I think he's feeling better. So 2 eggs into the bowl, then add your 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Whisk that together just a little bit, just to break up those egg yolks. Next, the extracts. So it will be 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then we're also going to do 1/2 teaspoon of lemon extract. I want these to be really lemony. If you don't like a ton of lemon flavor to your lemon baked goods, then you could probably alter these measurements. This is just what we've found works best for our personal taste. So then whisk that together a little bit. And then I'm also going to add a squirt of lemon juice and whisk that together. Is squirt a real measurement? Yeah. I think so. Now we're gonna slowly incorporate the melted butter. I say this every time because if it's the first time that you're watching one of my videos and you haven't heard it, I would hate for you to not know this, but add the melted butter really slowly so you don't scramble the eggs. It really is a thing. It really, really is.
I feel like one of these days you should show the people that.
I don't want to. That's an expensive mistake to show.
I like scrambled eggs.
Okay. So once this is all mixed together, we're going to incorporate the two of them, and it's as easy as that. Okay, so hopefully you remembered to preheat your oven to 350. If you haven't done that yet, now is definitely the time. We're gonna slowly whisk the wet ingredients into the dry. It's really important to use a whisk. I know I keep saying that, but I've had a few comments and messages regarding the texture of the donuts and the muffins, and some of you are saying that they are crumbling a little bit on you. I think the whisk makes a huge, huge difference in the texture department, and depending on which sweetener you choose to use, the texture of them will vary from that as well. So I'm just gonna finish getting this mixed up, and then we'll throw it into the muffin pans. Okay, so make sure you grease your muffin pan really well. I used the 100% coconut oil cooking spray to grease mine, and now I am going to use this little scoop to dollop out the muffins. I'm hoping it makes around 20. I don't think it will make the whole 24 that my pan is, but I'm gonna try and make it work for 20, so I'm using a scoop this time to measure them out properly. I got them all scooped out. I got it into 20 wells, which is exactly what I wanted. Now they're gonna go into my 350-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so we're planning to eat dinner in about an hour. So I'm gonna show you what this chuck roast looks like that I put in earlier. What I like to do is about an hour before we plan on eating it, I will turn the heat down to warm, and then I will go ahead and mash up the chuck roast so it can sit in those juices. I'll shred it up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It smells so good.
Where's my meat smasher?
Oh, the spatulator! Hold on. Our good friend Mrs. Kirk sent us a spatulator, and we're very excited about it. So this is the first time that we're actually remembering to use it.
Spatulator!
Don't breathe on it. They're still lurgy. They're still lurgy. So we're gonna use the spatulator, and we're gonna mash up this meat and show you what that looks like while the mini muffins bake. I wish you could smell my house right now. So many
Clean
smells.
hands.
Yeah, I just made him wash with scalding hot water.
Wash your hands.
I told him I wanted his hands to be reborn. That's how hot the water needed to be. Okay, let's smash up the meat. Spatulator. There's nothing. Slow down. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's pretty slick.
Okay, so this has been in since 10 o'clock this morning. And I know it looks like there's an absurd amount of juice in there, but when you go ahead and mash up the meat with your handy dandy spatulator, it's going to absorb a lot of that liquid, and then we basically, holy crap, Dan, calm down.
I'm spatulating.
You're like drunk spatulating.
Might be.
What we will do is we will basically pull out our portion with a slotted spoon so it's not like this soupy mess in a bowl. Like, you'll definitely have juice, but it won't be as messy as it looks in the crock pot. So the chuck roast has been spatulated. I turned the crock pot down to warm, and now this will be sitting here waiting for us for about an hour until it's time for us to eat dinner.
The spatulator.
It works really great.
It's pretty sweet.
What an awesome gift. We love you, spatulator and Mrs. Kirk. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven. They ended up taking about 15 minutes, give or take. They might take a little bit less time in your oven. As you can see, one has already been eaten and they are delicious. I'm gonna let them cool for a minute and then we'll put a little bit of a topping on them. Okay, so here is the verdict. Okay, you guys may be happy to know that I too can F up a baked good. They taste delicious, these mini muffins, but because they have so much moisture from the lemon juice, they are kind of fragile. I also may have overcooked them a little bit, and that may have also resulted in them being fragile. I also may have not greased the pan quite enough. Long story short, I had a little bit of a time getting them out. So here's how I'm gonna handle it. when I got them all out, I basically turned them upside down because the top part of the muffin seemed a lot more stable to me as like a base for it. So now they look like tiny lemon volcanoes, but I'm still gonna put a topping on them because they're delicious and I'm not a quitter. Let me show you what they look like. It's a little bit of a tragedy, but they're gonna taste amazing. So that's what I'm focusing on. Not every keto treat is gonna go as planned. It's just the way it goes. Take a peek. Okay, so I have a tablespoon of melted butter here. As you can see, they kind of look like little victims. Some of them came out of the pan easily, but it was not without lots and lots of effort, and a couple were lost into Dan's mouth and my mouth in the battle. So I'm gonna take a little bit of butter here and I'm just gonna lightly baste the tops of the muffins. Then I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of powdered monk fruit sweetener on top and some lemon zest. So here's the butter. Okay, so once I put the butter all over them, just a nice little light basting brush worth of them, I'm gonna take some powdered monk fruit sweetener in a sifter and just lightly sift that on top. And then I'm going to add about half of a zested lemon. I debated if I was upset or not that they turned out kind of weird, but then I realized that that's much more real life because, you know, ingredients vary, ovens vary, like everything varies. And I find with keto baked goods, I can make the same recipe the exact same way and use the exact same ingredients and still have a little bit of a different result. So I'm just gonna chalk this one up to they look ugly, but they taste freaking delicious. They taste like little... Okay, so they're ugly, but they are delicious. So I would make them again. I would make them again in a bigger muffin pan and I would grease the shit out of it. I'm ready for dinner. I'm starving. Okay guys, here's my plate. I've got my chuck roast shredded right there with the banana peppers, and then I made some steam in a bag broccoli with a little bit of cheese on it. Looks delicious. I'm gonna go eat my dinner and I'm gonna watch TV and take a boiling hot shower and get some rest. I hope you guys all have a great night. I hope you really enjoyed my 1 month celebration of being on YouTube, and thank you all so much for being here. It means the world to us.